I don't know if, I'm not sure if you're able to tell us or not, but will we see any new faces?
You'll see new faces, but they will not be as heavily shoved down your throat as they were season 8.
And okay. That makes me happy.
Right, where they have, it makes us all happy. Yeah. Like, so none of these new faces have like a tremendous storyline.
Great.
And, you know, Charlie comes back. Charlie's back on the show, and she'll be a familiar face from season 8, and she's amazing, and she's part of the crew now, and her boyfriend's great. So I'm really excited. I think people will be pleasantly surprised by the way that we just kept it moving.
Great. Well, that makes us excited too, because I think like most viewers, we were worried about what was going to happen with the show, and we're excited to see what goes down. We also love that you have this movie out, and we're curious, you know, how the work-life relationship is with Rand. Like, you know, he is producer on this movie Out of Death that you're in, and like, how do you guys kind of balance your home life with working together?
I feel like we know when it's like, we're together, you're my fiance, and you know, like that's the hat we're wearing. And then when it has to do with things like filming a movie together or recording a podcast together, like it's just a different hat, it's a different dynamic, and we're able to adjust really quickly. But we're both very hard-headed. So we have like a really friendly banter that I wouldn't change for the world. It keeps me on my toes, it keeps things interesting. And I love being a part of films that he produces because he's great at giving me the advice that I need.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if I feel something is going not the way I want it to go, he's been doing this for 20 plus years and can kind of point me in the right direction on how to handle being in front of the camera in a very different way than when I'm filming a reality show.
Yeah. I mean, I think that obviously if you can make it work, then it's great. Like, and also if you're in a movie that he's producing, it's not like he's around you 24/7. Like you're not on set together like constantly.
Yeah. No, when he produces movies like Out of Death, he's usually, you know, producing from afar. He's like back in LA. We shot that movie in Puerto Rico. I've done a handful of Bruce Willis films for him. You know, they're fun, they're easy watches, and I enjoy them because every time you're around someone like Bruce Willis, it's like a legend, you know?
They have a good connection. I feel like they make a lot of movies together.
They make a lot of movies together.
Yeah.
We ran into Bruce Willis on the street.
We did run into Bruce Willis on the street of New York City one time.
Of New York City. And, and we were walking past, and Fran goes, "Is that Bruce Willis?" And then we turned back around, and we had a very odd interaction with him that we'll never forget. We got a picture with him, but then he was like, "How old are you guys?" He was like making sure we were of age. It was a crazy interaction. It was wild.
He was very nice.
He was so
nice. But it was like, Bruce Willis, why are you like walking on the streets of New York alone?
It was crazy.
On like 28th and 7th.
On like a Tuesday.
He's my favorite person.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
he's
seems
just
great.
Like, right? Like, what the fuck is life? It's great. I'm just gonna like go be a normal person. But it's like, you're fucking Bruce Willis, dude.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, okay, so we have to bring up Bruce Willis was in Midnight in The Switchgrass, which Randall directed, produced. Obviously, you saw the headlines. You know, Megan Fox was in the movie. Machine Gun Kelly was in the movie. You posted on your Instagram story, which people then took as shade to Megan because she did not show up to the premiere. And then Machine Gun Kelly tweeted something about the movie that was not very nice. Were you shading Megan?
No, I'm not subtle with shade. If I was upset, I've had my fair share of like not great interactions with big celebrities, and I don't usually hold back much. So it really was just like the perfect post to look like shade. Like, even looking back, it was so quick, and unfortunately it was just like my mom took a freaking picture of me, and the headlines seemed way more, I was like, this actually is way more interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I would read?
Yes.
I was like, you know what? Lala is a petty queen. Maybe this is the case.
You know what? I am petty. You know, like when Randall and I would fight, I'm like, I'm deleting all your pictures off my Instagram.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like shade with other people,
Yeah.
I get petty with my fiance. I don't really get petty with other people. It's more like very direct. I'm not passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a relationship there with them at all? Because I do remember I listened to them on your podcast with Randall. That was like kind of at the beginning of their relationship. And that I remember that episode blowing up because that it got very serious with them and talking about their connection. So now I'm curious, after all this has kind of happened, like what kind of relationship do you have with the two of them?
I would say like we're friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, even when the podcast was happening, you know, we were in Puerto Rico with them.
Right.
We were doing the movie, so it was very easy. It's like your room's by mine, like let's work out or whatever it may be. And so I wouldn't say like we're going to paint each other's toenails and getting dinner every other day. But, you know, like I know Randall still talks to Megan a little bit. And, you know, I have a close little circle. I kind of don't really venture out of it much. I'm just kind of Randall's tag along. And then I go back to my little group. You know, that's just what I do.